Let's take a look at this 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited. This car was really given by accident. Not so much accident, but there was not really anything else for me to choose from. I went looking for a Dodge Charger. I didn't find the Dodge Charger, but they did have this. So we ended up in this. When I searched the Limited on Jeep's website, it actually didn't look too feature rich or nice. And I was kind of disappointed in what I might be getting. However, whenever I got into this one, this is not a cheaply equipped vehicle. This car has a lot of extra features that aren't standard. I washed it yesterday, but it looks like pollen has taken over. So let's go ahead and have a look on the inside. Just before we do, take a look at the key. It is push button start, does have remote start as well as a rear trunk release. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. It is fully power. The first thing you're going to notice when you look into the trunk is this speaker. This is a subwoofer. Like the Town & Country, it does have a flashlight here, but it looks like someone has already stolen that. It is a rental after all. Also have this cover to cover your cargo if you choose. Now this car is a four-wheel drive model, and apparently on the four-wheel drive models, the features standard come a little bit more well equipped rather. So we'll shut this. Start it up. You'll notice that it has signals on the mirrors, which are a huge thing that I like. It's hard to see at night, or at day rather. Great to see at night, hard to see at day. We'll have a look on the inside. So to start the engine, I've already started it with push button. As you can see, it's blinking run. Put your foot on the brake, push the start button, and you'll notice that the seat actually starts moving me forward back to my predetermined place. Steering wheel also will move back whenever it starts. Like I said, this is a four-wheel drive model. Four-wheel drive model comes standard with the luxury package according to their website. The luxury package is what gives you everything. So here's your four-wheel drive. You've got different settings that you can change it to depending on the terrain you're on. You can also lock your four-wheel drive, low range. This is a hill descent control. It does have this shifter like the 300 has. A lot of people don't like that apparently, so whatever, to each his own. You get used to it, I believe. So let's go ahead and start going over some of the different things in the car feature wise. You do have this huge touch screen, not touch screen, it's just a huge screen that shows your speed. You can switch it through different settings here. There's your oil temperature, oil pressure, oil life, battery voltage, tire PSI, transmission temperature, and then you can slide down. You've got your four-wheel drive information. There's, I guess, some sort of visual to show you what's happening. Here's your mile per gallon. I'm currently averaging 19.5. I've got 343 till empty. This is my trip monitor. I've drove for 738 miles since I picked the car up. I average 19.6 miles per gallon doing that. So I have satellite radio, no messages, setup, and then speedometer. Very good visible speedometer. You can see it in the day, you can see it at night. The gauges around it aren't so easy to see in the day, but I don't really need to see those in the day. I just need to see how fast I'm going, so I have no complaints there. Over here on your driver's door, you've got a couple of windows, automatic up and down on the front, door locks, window locks, and then your mirror adjustments Over here, automatic headlights, push it for fog lights, and then this controls your interior lights. You have windshield wipers here. As you'll notice, they're already on because they're rain sensing wipers. They come on when it senses rain. So you just leave those on and they'll handle it. Over here's your rear wiper. And then also it has, your high beam adjustment. If you just leave it on high beam, it has automatic high beams. So it will automatically adjust your high beams based on if there's a car or not. So that's nice to have. You'll notice here that it has paddle shifters, which control your 8-speed transmission. You can do paddle shifting, or you can just go back to manual. A lot of people were, in other reviews that I watched, people were complaining about it was hard to switch back to automatic once you go into manual. That's not true. All you have to do is hold this lever here for 3 seconds and it goes back to automatic. You don't have to change any gears. You don't have to do anything special. That will switch you back into automatic. Just holding that lever for 3 seconds goes right back into fully automatic. Here are the buttons to control the screen that I showed you earlier. And then over here are your cruise control buttons. Pretty basic. No adaptive cruise on this model. Then you have your phone buttons as well as your hands-free. Also up here in the mirror, you do have a dedicated 911 button and an assist button, which are tied into the Uconnect, and they don't actually use your phone for that. It uses the phone in the car. The car does have built-in LTE as well, or not LTE, 3G. I don't think it has LTE because I haven't found any LTE coverage. But you'll notice down here that it does say 3G, if it will focus. I have no idea if it focused. I have a couple of wires for my radar detector and camera, so there's that. Over here, the touchscreen here is what makes this car all about what this car is all about, I think. You've got your satellite radio, which is here on the radio tab, and then you've got FM and AM, all your presets. This is exactly like any other 8-inch touchscreen in the Ford or anything. You've got your media, which activates your phone. I won't hit that because that will actually cause my phone to mess up. Then you've got your controls. You've got your ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, and your mirror dim. You might actually hear that. I'm not sure if you do, but there is a fan that you can hear turn on under the seat when I turn that on. Under climate, completely automatic, but you can set it as well. We'll go ahead and turn that down a little bit and get us some cool air going. It does have built-in navigation, which works extremely well. I tested that while on vacation in this car. I was able to go places with Sirius Travel Link, of course. It tells you where the traffic is. I was able to avoid a lot of traffic and get in front of some people several times with this system. And we were all going to the same place. It does have your phone where, hands-free, Bluetooth. And then you've got all these apps that are with the new Uconnect apps. This is with the built-in, Wi-Fi support. Something I love about this car, and as far as I understand, it's using AT&T's towers. So you got AT&T coverage wherever AT&T coverage is. Their coverage is usually pretty good. I mean, compared to others. There's Verizon. I guess they're probably the best in my opinion. But you've got AT&T, which is probably second on that list. Does use AT&T towers to give you this data, and you have Wi-Fi hotspot with no limits. Now, of course, obviously, if you go crazy, they're going to cut you off or slow you down, but there's not a data cap, which I really like about this car. I like it about the Uconnect. You can activate that. It's $35 a month, and there's no data cap. And then you have all your dedicated buttons down here, which pretty much just control your air conditioning, your screen, stuff like that. You have your park sensor off, eco mode, which I did not use, and your traction control off. I've got a little sinus problem going on right now, you might can tell. Up here you've got your controls for, here's a garage door opener, here's your moonroof controls, and then, all that. And then here would actually open the back hatch. There's some lights. So I actually already have the moonroof open. It is a full panoramic moonroof. It goes all the way back, and I enjoy that. You do have these perforated leather seats, which work great with the air conditioning. I can feel it there now, and I also have mine on. You have 2 cup holders with a lot of mess in them because, you know, I use this car not just for fun. I do have a big storage container. Got my Escort stuff down in there. If I had one complaint, it does have 2 cigarette lighters. One plug in here and one down there. And when you turn the car off, this one turns off, but this one here does not. So my camera ends up staying on all night long because it doesn't turn the plug off. So that's kind of annoying, but whatever. Now, I'm not trying to get in any kind of copyright trouble, but I will include a clip here of how well the audio system works. The way that we judge this is mainly how much movement we can get out of the mirror. And because the camera is right here at the mirror, we're just going to go by how much movement we can get out of the camera based on the bass in the car. So let's go ahead and insert that here.
I'm the queen.
So as you can see, I do have satellite radio in this car, and I did test out the satellite radio, and reception was really well. I had a couple times where it dropped out, but that's just because there was simply no line of sight to the sky. So I like the whole overall reception. There was no issues with using satellite radio. Everything worked well. This car is a really nice car, and like I said, you know, last time I reviewed a nice car, it was the Chevrolet Suburban. And the Chevrolet Suburban was a really big, really expensive car. I mean, we're talking $70,000 car for the configuration I had. And my biggest complaint with that car was, oh, by the way, it does have memory seating. Forgot to mention that. My biggest complaint with the Suburban was that it was a $70,000 car, and you had to spend that kind of money to get these kind of features. And when you're looking at this car, this is a $40,000 car, and as equipped, like $45,000. I mean, it's really not that expensive for everything you're getting, and all these nice features, leather seats throughout. It does not have a third row, by the way. So if you're looking for a third row, you're going to want to go Durango. This is basically the Durango. It's Jeep's version of the Durango. It's kind of like when you go look at Ford and you're looking at Ford Explorer versus Ford Expedition. This would be the Explorer, the Durango would be the Expedition. It's basically the same thing, it just has a different logo on it. So Jeep being made by Mopar and Durango being made by Mopar, they're basically the same thing. Overall, I really like this car, and I think that this is the Suburban killer. This is my new #1 spot for the nicest car I've ever rented, because it truly is the nicest car. You do have your keyless entry. This button here will lock the doors, and then you put your hand behind the... You might actually hear it. You can see this light blink when I put my hand behind it. That's it recognizing me and unlocking the door, even though the door's already unlocked. It does have a button to release your fuel door, which is, you know, that's great, because, you know, no one can steal your gas. You actually have to get in, and it is capless. Put your filler right in there. It does take E85 as well. Don't know why you'd use that unless you're just, you know, environmentally conscious, but nobody is, so whatever. It doesn't have a four-wheel drive off function. That's something that I noticed while driving, is that four-wheel drive is automatically on all the time. There's not really an issue with that, but when you start to slip, your front wheels will kick in and go. And it could be kind of annoying sometimes, because you end up spinning. It always spins, especially if you're cutting the wheels really deep. It's a four-wheel drive system. You can't get your wheels deep in a four-wheel drive system because it will spin. So there were several times that I spun in someone's yard. I wasn't trying to, but it was the automatic four-wheel drive kicking in. But that being said, I would much rather have four-wheel drive than only have two-wheel drive and get stuck somewhere. So I forgot to mention that the luxury package, the one that comes standard with the four-wheel drive system, if you get the car in two-wheel drive, the luxury package is an optional feature. The luxury package includes the navigation system and the 8-inch touchscreen. It includes the panoramic moonroof. It includes HID headlights and the automatic high beams and automatic windshield wipers. That is all in one huge package. So that's kind of a nice package to have. It's nice that they put all that in one package for you. All right, well, this has been my review. I'll try to throw some more clips in if I come up with anything else, and hopefully you guys enjoyed.